Gunnerman Group is a go.
Yes! Not just a startup, an upstart.
Gotta get going.
Gotta be good.
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 Growth is the goal. How do we do that?
I talked to UPS. They'll help us out. New technology, smart advice. We focus on the business, and they take care of the logistics.
UPS.
Good going.
We get good. That's great.
Great. Great.
Great.
Great.
Great.
Great.
Great.
Great.
Great.
I love logistics.
Welcome to another edition of Z360. I'm your host, David Sunsup. Coming up, we'll have a special GoPro view of Zippy from a recent men's basketball game. We'll learn about Akron men's basketball redshirt freshmen Aaron Jackson and BJ Gladden, and my conversation with new women's volleyball head coach Tom Hanna.
Y'all ready for this? Y'all ready for this?
Tom Hanna was hired as the new Akron women's volleyball head coach back on January 28th. Here's my conversation with Hanna about his transition to Akron and his expectations for his first year leading the program. I'm joined by the new coach of the Akron volleyball team, Tom Hanna. And Coach, glad to have you here. Welcome to the Zips family. You were hired back on January 28th. And you started last Wednesday, and then you hit the road for recruiting. So what have these last 3 weeks been like for you?
It's been busy. It's been exciting. All good stuff. Just a lot going on, trying to wrap up shop at my previous position and hit the ground running here. Getting really good at living out of a bag and different hotels. But it's been exciting. Like you said, got here, got on the ground Wednesday, had first practice with the team Thursday, hit the road Friday. So it's been busy.
Racking up those hotel points, not only here, but also with recruiting. You mentioned
Absolutely.
Your previous job, 9 years as a head coach at Marist, also a Marist alum.
Yeah.
What was it like to leave a place that's meant a lot to you?
It was bittersweet. It was very difficult to leave those kids. They mean a lot to me. So it was really, really difficult to tell the team, obviously, and then the staff that we have throughout the department and our alums. I'm an alum, so I have a lot of connections there. People have been very good to the program there, and I appreciate everything they did. Unfortunately, this opportunity is just too good to pass up.
You alluded to the fact that you already held practice with the players here.
When you spoke to that group for the first time, what was your message to them?
The first thing is we understand change is coming. And I think they're pretty good about that even through the interview process. They understand things are going to be different. They're okay with that, and they're ready to embrace it. We're not going to throw it all at them in one shot. We had our second practice this morning, so I've got 2 hours under my belt with the team. But just try to get acclimated to who I am, what I'm expecting, just slowly but surely, not trying to throw everything at them in one shot.
2 practices in the books. What's your style of play going to be?
Well, I think right now, I always say there's what I prefer to do, and there's what's going to make the group successful. And over time, we're hoping that it gets more to my style, which I'd like to think we're going to be pretty good at ball control. We're going to run good tempo to the pins, but right now we've got to evaluate who we are, what's going to be our strong suit, because then we can change, make some changes through training and then recruiting, which obviously takes a little bit longer to make those changes in the recruiting process before those players become part of the program. So I'd like to think we're going to be much better at first contact, and we'll be able to run good tempo to the pins, but we'll see who we are, and as opposed to who we think we can be. Will be different in the next few weeks probably.
You brought up recruiting. You already went on your first recruiting trip last weekend. What kind of student athletes are you looking for, not only in terms of the volleyball skill set, but also in terms of academics?
I'm a big proponent of having smart kids in your gym. Makes life easier in a lot of different ways. Student athletes who have a history, a proven track record of strong time management skills, taking care of business in the classroom, usually pay attention to the details we need them to pay attention to on the court, and that translates to hopefully some success. And we're going to go through again a process of change, and they're going to need to pay attention to details. So I like to keep the bar pretty high there for a lot of reasons. I'm very proud of the success that our players had at Marist academically. We had 10 academic all-district selections in the last 6 or 7 years, and 64 academic all-conference players, and so on. So we hope to keep that going over here.
You talked about the academic success at Marist. You also had a lot of success on the volleyball court. You were the MAAC Coach of the Year the last 2 years, and also won 2 straight regular season conference titles. You take over a team here that went 8-23 last year, 2-14 in the MAC. You have most of the team back from last year. They're all eligible to return except for one senior from this past season. What are the goals for your first year?
We'd love to talk about winning a championship, but as I told the group already, we can't win a championship until we qualify for one. We have to finish in the top 8, so that's going to take a little bit of work. As I said to the seniors especially, we want to get them there to the tournament. This is their last opportunity to play at this level. I make them no promises, but I said to them, I'll die trying to get you there. We need to get ourselves in the top 8. Certainly love to make that step happen this fall. But I would hope that within the first 2 seasons, that's certainly where we're at, and I have every expectation that we're going to get there. And it's very similar to to what we did at Marist. We had to turn the Titanic, so to speak, and make some changes. And again, it happens in the gym, it happens in recruiting. Those things take time, but hopefully we can expedite the process because there's some pretty talented student athletes here.
Well, Coach, glad to have you here. Thanks for the time, and I look forward to working with you.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Aaron Jackson and BJ Gladden both redshirted last year to bulk up and get acclimated to the D1 level. This year, both guys are finally playing and members of Akron's 11-player rotation.
The transition was definitely pretty tough. Coming from high school, playing the whole game to not even getting in a game was tough. It was really humbling, but being able to sit out the whole year, work on my game, get better, polish up on my weaknesses that I knew I had to touch up on was a blessing really in disguise, and just made me even better for this year and more ready to play.
Yeah, I agree. Coming from high school where you play a lot, you're the man on the team, and then you have to sit out a year, that's tough. I never had to sit out. I never had to sit out a year of basketball, so being able to sit out, work on the things I needed to work on, get better, it's actually helped me this year. So.
Most surprising thing is just having all 5 people on the court that could play basketball. In high school, there might be 2 or 3 Division I players out there that could challenge you, but having all 5 out there is definitely a challenge. But I feel like playing AAU and playing in the EYBL prepared me to play college ball, so I just took that and rode with it.
I think it was more surprising at the beginning. The speed was. like how fast they went, you know, up and down, catching the speed as a freshman. You know, I think that was definitely surprising to me. But I think now, for the both of us, we kind of caught the speed of the game. So
the Bowling Green game is most memorable because my guy hit the game winner, and I was excited to really see that, see how hard, you know, we've worked and prepared for a time like that, and it actually happened. We always talk about it, and then for it to actually come true was crazy. It was like a dream come true.
I think that was probably one of the biggest moments for me, you know, to hit a game winner like that as a freshman in conference play. That's the stuff that we used to talk about all year last year, you know, so I think that was one of the best moments for me.
You know, we want to win a MAC championship, of course, but we also want to get a win in the NCAA tournament, do something, you know, no other team here at Akron has done. And I believe we have the pieces to do that, pieces to the puzzle to do that. So we're just going to keep working every day, keep bringing the energy, and hopefully giving the Zips fans what they want.
Yeah, winning the MAC is definitely our main goal right now, but we want to do something different that no other team's done here and win an NCAA tournament too, so those are some of our goals.
That wraps up this edition of Z360. Tune in next week as we'll have a special feature for you about Akron women's basketball's Play for K-Day game against Toledo. Thanks so much for watching. I'm David Suntup for GoZips.com.